Our company raises pigs, owns the pigs, and in many cases we contract with independent farmers to own the buildings that our pigs are raised in. Today we have operations in Indiana, Illinois, and Iowa. We produce about 1.2 million pigs, 540 employees. We work with 180 different farmers across the Midwest that own buildings with us. And we work with probably a couple hundred other farmers who accept the nutrients to replace commercial fertilizer across the Midwest. So we think, we'd like to think we're an important part of Iowa's economy, the Midwest economy, and that we do a nice job at what we do at raising high-quality food protein.
3 years ago, August, we signed a contract with Heartland Pork, and we're called independent contractors, where we purchase the building. Heartland owns the hogs, and we raise them for Heartland to market. We're paid guaranteed X amount of dollars a month, and we're paid every month for the services we provide for them. So every month the check's in the mail. No need to have it too big.
Yeah.
We got all the controls for each side over here. I've always thought of it as a big spaceship running it, but
we don't have the expense of the hogs, we don't have the expense of the feed or any of the medication, anything like that. We're getting paid to take care of these pigs. You know, I mean, people I think have pretty much learned, they're just accepting it more and more. They just know that that's what it's coming to, are these big hog buildings. At first it was hard, I think, because they kept thinking, well, all they're trying to do is push the small farmer out. I don't think it was so much that as that's just what you had to do to survive. Being a small farmer, it just wasn't working anymore.
When you're under a contract production situation, you are now being paid basically a wage. That's a wage labor situation where you're paid for your time rather than the product of your time.
Even though you may still call yourself a farmer, you really aren't, because you don't have management decisions to make. You're constrained at every turn. You're paid in a manner that doesn't encourage entrepreneurship, doesn't reward you on the basis of so much on the basis of what you have made in the way of decisions, because the decisions are largely made by others above you.
Are you independent if you are told what time you are to go into that building and feed those animals and exactly what you're to feed them and how you're to disinfect the building? I think it's a misnomer anymore. I think the farmers still have freedom, but I don't want to, I separate that from true independence. They have the freedom to contract as they see fit, but the independence portion of that, in contracting especially today, is gone.
People are made serfs by the fact that other people, a small group of people, take over everything, and that is eventually what will happen.
But the more people, the more farmers they get on these contracts, the more market power they have to control the market. So as your contracts are renewed, they squeeze you. It's squeeze, 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 until they turn you into chicken farmers where you're working for nothing. Or in our case, when you go broke, less than nothing. You know, they're forcing you out.
The demise of the family farm is over. It's done.
Farming as we know it will never be the same.
It's over. It's over. You gotta find another option.
I've been farming all my life. Been a hog farmer all my life. My father and I were innovators of confinement technology. We were the ones who designed and developed the technology that's being used today. In 1970, we built a 104 sow farrowing house. And by 1974, all of our hogs were on slatted floors and under aluminum roofs.
Sows would come in
from the door down here, and then we would walk them down the aisle, and there's 7 rooms here with 16 crates, farrowing crates apiece in it. And we would put them in the stalls, and that's where they would have their babies.
And how long ago, I mean, how long has it been since this was an active place?
Well, it takes 5 months from the time you farrow the last pig until the last pig is out of the finishing house. And so I really can't tell you when. Sometime in 99, I think, is the last sow that I farrowed in here. So it's been empty for about 2 years. I didn't get out soon enough. I still had too many hogs on the farm when the $8 hogs hit in 1998. And I had to dip into my savings to sell hogs that I had all paid for. Didn't know a thing on them. But when you're only getting $20 for an animal that it costs from $70 to $80 to raise, the losses were astounding. I thought that I would spend my whole life raising hogs and that I would die in the house that I live in. And I was perfectly content to do that. But when times change and you see times are changing, then you have to roll with the punches. And I made the decision that now was the time to liquidate, so we started the liquidation process. And it's sat empty ever since.
So what did it feel like the last, you walked out that door, there had to be a last day. Did you ever feel a sense of the last day?
Well, I'm not saying that there's never going to be hogs in here again. I have too much invested here to leave it sit empty forever. Someday I envision there will be pigs in here again. The name of the game today, or the name of the carrot on the stick, is you've got to get big in order to survive. But when a handful of people control the markets, they dictate who survives and who fails. Because there is no stability in the market for smaller producers, then I'm not in it.